The coronavirus apocalypse has led to the cancellation of a bunch of scientific conferences. Now, scientists can get cynical about this. They can be like, what did I get out of my conference anyway? But you did get things out of it. If you're not going, that's like 3.5 symposiums that you didn't mostly pay attention to this year. That's at least 1 or 2 posters that you didn't spend a little too much time at, but still get value out of. And your own work didn't benefit from that last-minute crunch to turn it into a presentation. And there's all these little things, like you didn't scan over your conference program and accidentally, like through osmosis, get a sense of what's going on in your field right now. And conferences aside, the quarantine has kept a lot of scientists out of their labs for weeks. Coronavirus reminds us of why we need science, but it's also slowed down scientific progress on everything else besides coronavirus. So a bunch of people have come up with things we can do to compensate and speed science back up. These ideas kind of range from a little effort to a lot of effort, and from a local impact to a broad impact. We have high effort, local impact things, like recording a lecture for your students, or doing a whole virtual conference but restricting access to members only. Or there's things that are easy to do and have a local impact, like just having a call with people who study the same thing you do and updating each other on what you're working on. Now, all of this is helpful, and it helps keep your science moving and helps close the gap a little on that progress we're losing right now. But this is also science's comfort zone. There's this tension in science where we feel like we don't have enough impact, and we're also afraid to show anybody besides our colleagues our work. It's like we want impact and we're afraid of it at the same time. Now might be a great time for us to get over that and get our work into this broad impact zone that the rest of the world focuses on. This could help us almost fully compensate for the progress we're losing, and when this is all over, it may even put us ahead. And for a lot of things, it's not a lot of extra effort to go from local to broad impact. Like if you're already doing a virtual conference and getting everybody to record their presentations, then just adding those presentations to YouTube in a common playlist isn't a lot of extra effort, but it dramatically boosts the impact and reach of your conference. In this video, I'm going to show you something for the little effort, broad impact category, and that's a rolling Twitter poster session. I stole this idea from the Society for Teaching Psychological Science, who did one of these a couple months ago and really engaged people. It's a dead simple and kind of fun way to stay updated on new research in your field. First, every field creates some hashtag. I'm going to suggest hashtag new, whatever your field's hashtag is. So for me, that's hashtag new IOPsych. Now, when you click this hashtag, when you look up hashtag new your field, what's the experience you'd want? For me, I'd want to learn new research in my field as fast as possible with as little effort as possible, and be able to click for more detail on stuff that really piques my interest. But remember, we're on the internet now. The back button's right there. Binging on coronavirus news is right there. Every extra click or zoom you make people do without reward makes it more likely they're going to bail on the whole thing and probably not come back in the future. We want a format that maximizes that learning speed and minimizes the effort to learn. So people can just sit there and passively learn lots of new stuff in their field and enjoy it so they want to check it a lot. Maybe even every day. We want to make every tweet easy and rewarding. And since people are trying to learn, rewarding means constantly learning. So always be teaching. We don't want just like a list of titles and links out to abstracts because that's too slow and too high interaction cost. People have to click each thing and maybe even go through paywalls before they start learning anything. Now we could try summarizing every study in a single tweet, maybe like attach a key figure or something. But even if you're good enough to fit a tight summary into a single tweet, we'd still end up with what looks like a page full of abstract paragraphs, which is going to get boring really fast. And we can't just attach a big image of a normal science poster, even a better poster, because then people have to click and pinch and zoom all around this tiny text on their phones. Science posters barely work when they're 5 feet across, much less 5 inches. And the other problem with bigger images is that Twitter uses machine learning to figure out where to crop. So if you upload an image that's bigger than Twitter's exact dimension specs, it's going to get cropped in a weird, unpredictable way. And then people have to click it before they can learn anything from it. Same thing goes for attaching multiple images. And then people have to click these tiny little thumbnails on faith before they actually start learning. We want to do something that fits this little 2-to-1 ratio box that Twitter allows. Now, how are we going to fit several details about our study into this tiny little rectangle? Easy. We go 3D. We create an animated rectangle. You can include an animated slideshow of about 3 to 5 slides that'll cycle through in this box. I've created a PowerPoint template for this called Twitter Poster. It makes this really easy, and you can download it now from the Open Science Framework. Now, it's actually a good thing that Twitter's file size limits cap us at about 3 to 5 slides. We want to keep it short because you want to leave some of the user's attentional resources left over to view your colleagues' tweets. We want to help people see lots of these, not trap them into one. Let's try just 3 slides. Remember, when you're designing anything for the web, you want to kind of follow this principle. Focus on what people need to know first, and then nice to know second. You can determine what this means for you, but from my understanding, people really want to know a main takeaway first, maybe a key figure to support it, and then they want to know a little background like why is this main takeaway important, And then they want to know how you found that, like your methods. I'll do this for one of my studies. So my main takeaway is that IBM's Watson supercomputer can detect joy and sadness in written text, but the relationship is small. I'll add a Watson logo as a relevant image and for funsies. And for my key figure, I'll just add the important section of my correlation table. For my who gives a crap slide, I'll say, if you have a lot of written text like admissions essays, diaries, phone transcripts, you can detect the author's emotions automatically. And I'll break my method sections into 2 slides so I can keep the information chunked and the font size high. I'll say 6 members of a science mission in Antarctica wrote daily diaries, 42 time points, and little icons. Then we fed those diaries through Watson's service and correlated Watson's joy scores with self-reported happiness. Add another quick visual, and that's it. Now instead of going to File Save, I'll go File, Export, Animated GIF, set the timer to about 5 seconds per slide, then save, and drag the file onto Twitter. Add our hashtag. You could also put more details in replies like a thread, but I'm going to be lazy and just link to my conference abstract on SciArchive, which is also totally fine. And post. That's it. And here's what we created. A 15-second slideshow of our research. Now when you click your field's hashtag, you just scroll and learn, and get quickly updated on new stuff in your field with almost no effort. And if one piques your interest, you literally just have to keep staring at it and it keeps teaching you deeper and deeper information. You could browse 100 of these on your phone or your desktop or an iPad and just be kind of enjoying it. And these are super easy and fun to create. If you want to try it out, download this Twitter poster PowerPoint template right now from the Open Science Framework. And the template even includes little progress bar animations so people always know how much time they have to read on each slide. As always, Twitter poster and everything I make is in the public domain under a Creative Commons license, so you can use this and modify it without crediting me. And now you have a new toy. Hope you have fun with it, and please tag me on Twitter and show me what you come up with. I'm at Mike Morrison.